tell the guy you want a family pack, but you want them cut an inch or inch and a half thick, and you've got quite a steak. So T-bone steaks on sale today at Piggly Wiggly for $4.99 a pound. Fried breast also on sale today. The jumbo pack, $147 a pound. Small pork spare ribs, and everybody loves those, $187 a pound. And the boneless chuck roast, $3.69 a pound. Now let me just say this: get you a crock pot and stick you a boneless chuck roast in it, and go ahead and get you some or chop up you some good potatoes and throw them in there, and some carrots and throw them in there, and maybe a little onion if you want to, and throw them in there, and let it stay in that crock pot all day long. And by the time you get home from work, you've got one great meal. And of course, again, big boneless chuck roast, $3.69 a pound today at Piggly Wiggly. Center cut pork chops, $1.69. Oscar Mayer wieners, how about this price? 3 for $4. And of course, sliced bologna, 3 for $5. And I had a friend of mine told me the other day, the store I couldn't remember, and how in the world I couldn't remember Ivy's Grocery, but Ivy's was on one side of the street, and Davis's was on the other side, and both were good grocery stores. Some people used Ivy's, and some people had a charge account over at Davis's. Usually it was where you had a charge account was where your mom and daddy sent you. And I tell you, I'll always remember the many times that I sat in there with Mr. Davis, and I still answer the phone, Dave's Grocery. I still answer the phone that way now quite a bit. And, but great people at Davis Grocery, and also Mr. Ivy and Miss Ivy ran that store on the corner of Orion Street and Fairview Street. So, of course, that's part of my growing up days. Chicken party wings, 3-pound bag today, $6.95 at Piggly Wiggly. And Hormel Little Sizzlers, a lot of people like those for breakfast. A 12-ounce pack for just 95 cents. So that's quite a deal right there, those Little Sizzlers, for just 95 cents today at Piggly Wiggly. And of course, I like to get my favorite little pecan pies, 2 for $1 there. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, those little pecan pies are delicious. You also have a deal today where you pick 5 meats for $7.99, and it mix and max, and that could be chicken, or it could be pork chops, or it could be steaks, and that's your Super Bowl savings tailgate package today. And of course, a lot of other sales going on today at Piggly Wiggly, with 2 locations in town to choose from. One is located in the Marketplace Shopping Center, and the other is located on North Three Knights. I want to mention a lot going on this weekend, and Georgia Congressman John Lewis, one of the more well-known figures in Congress, will be here in Troy this weekend, along with State Congresswoman Terry Sewell will be the keynote speaker at the 17th Annual Leadership Conference at Troy University this weekend. Lewis will be the keynote speaker at the opening session at 7 p.m. on Friday at Sartain Hall, and Sewell will close the conference at the luncheon Saturday at the Trojan Center Ballroom. Sheila Jackson, City of Troy Public Relations Director, said it is an honor to have 2 such distinguished keynote speakers at the leadership conference, and we would be very fortunate to have Congressman Lewis or Congresswoman Terry Sewell to speak at our conference. So Lewis is a native of Pike County, and of course he is an Alabama politician and a American politician and a prominent civil rights leader. He is the U.S. representative for Georgia, the 5th District, and has been a great spokesman for his district over the years, and we are proud to have those folks in Troy and Pike County this weekend. Charlie Lucas is crafted one-speed horse out of just one of the items you'll find today at the Johnson Center for the Arts, and of course Charlie Lucas, one of the they call him the Tin Man, and he will have a reception this week. Of course, Charlie's from Selma, and that reception will be 6 until 8 p.m. Thursday. And of course, great to have Charlie and his art here in Troy this weekend. Of course, we've got. Remember, I want to remind you again, the Salvation Army has their wonderful Camp Stew sale coming up tomorrow. And of course, like I said, you're going to give to a charity. Why not give to a charity that gives something back? And this is a fundraiser for the Salvation Army. And at the same time, for $10 a quart, you can get Camp Stew. So write your check like I did. I wrote my check for $50 out to the Salvation Army, and I'm going to get 5 quarts of delicious Camp Stew. Let's go to our phones this morning. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. Who is this, please?
It's Michael.
Michael calling from Birmingham this morning. What can we do for you, Michael?
I was calling into the show like I do every day of my life.
Well, did you wish your sister a happy birthday yesterday?
Well, we had birthday party for her a few days ago.
Actually. Did it go good? Did everybody have fun?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, Rebecca's birthday was yesterday. That's right.
I hope, of course, it's always great to know you got family getting together, and everybody, my 2 daughters, Rebecca and Camille, live in Birmingham, and my son Mike, who's on the phone right here, is also resides also with his family in Birmingham. Pretty nice place to live, isn't it?
Yeah, we enjoy it. Been up here. I guess I've been living in Birmingham on and off since I was 23. I moved up to Birmingham and lived in Tuscaloosa a few times along the way, but
before too long, you would have lived in Tuscaloosa long you have in Troy. Is that right?
Birmingham?
Birmingham, excuse me.
Yeah. I mean, I got a lot of my friends I grew up with live here. I mean, Blake Craig lives right down the street from me. Of course, Neil Green Teixeira lives in Vestavia now too. They've been here, I guess, about a year and a half, 2 years. So, yeah, a lot of guys I grew up with live here, and it's a great town. Always have enjoyed it.
Yeah, of course, a lot going on in Troy this weekend. They got a big basketball game coming up.
I wish I would have got the contract on those white T-shirts they've got for the whiteouts. That'd be a pretty good deal right there.
Yeah, I know it. What, are they going to give them away at the door?
Yeah, everybody's supposed to be wearing a white T-shirt, kind of like what Alabama did against Oklahoma. They all wore white T-shirts for that game.
Brother George is going to be on our show today, and he and to talk about the big weekend for Troy, and
will you wear a white T-shirt during the game?
I don't know. It's according to I might wear some white, but I don't know if I wear a white T-shirt.
Yeah.
But it is a white out.
games they can give away anymore, especially home games. So they've got to find a way to beat South Alabama, which they did earlier.
Well, you know, the key is to do what they did last year.
A little run here, I hope.
Yeah. Well, the key is to do what they did last year, just win the conference championship. Where's that going to be held, Mike?
You got to have some chemistry going, and Troy was really hot, playing really well, going into that tournament.
Yeah. Where was where's the conference championship? Is it going to be again in New Orleans?
Yeah, New Orleans.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun to go
That's
to.
One thing I do love about the Sun Belt. The Sun Belt offices are in New Orleans. A lot of events are held in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And, it's definitely one of my favorite cities to go to. So
well, I tell you what, I'm going to look very seriously at because I like this Troy team. If they play well, they can beat anybody in the conference, don't you think?
Well, I thought that, but they just can't get any chemistry going right now. I mean, for a team that won 22 games and had every starter coming back except one, Walker.
Yeah.
This is really. I'm amazed that they're playing this bad. I mean, to be 9-13 is not good at all. You lose Bernardo, I can understand. Losing those games, but one guy shouldn't make that big of a difference. But it definitely does when it comes to Troy. But now he'd come back and the chemistry's off. Went from Person scoring about 25 a game to.
I tell you, one of their big problems.
Now it's about who can get the most shots.
Yeah.
Like.
And also, it's very important about rebounding, and especially offensive rebounding. Troy is probably one of the worst teams in the country getting offensive rebounds, and that means only one shot. When you go down there and you can get just one shot, you're in trouble. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. But, Troy wants to make a run. This is the time to make the run. They got South Alabama at home, and then they got Arkansas State at home on Thursday, and then they got Little Rock at home on Saturday.
So they got three games, yeah.
So if you win these three, you're all of a sudden 12 and 13, and things look a little different.
Yeah. And it means a pretty good bit.
I pretty much think we've got to sweep these these 3 games at home.
Well, it's also important to get a good bye or get a bye in the tournament. Wouldn't that be good?
Well, I don't know if they get a bye in the tournament. They had to play every day last time. The biggest thing about the Sun Belt tournament that's strange, and probably the reason Troy won is they gave them a day off in the middle of the tournament.
That was good. You're right. I remember that. Whiteout has packed the Trojan Arena for the Whiteout game this weekend. The women of Troy University start the things off at 2 p.m. Saturday.
Recruiting's about to be finished too, so that'll be happening. That'll be done.
In fact, at halftime of the men's basketball game, the Sun Belt Conference champions will be honored, and so that's going to be a lot of fun to have the football team there. And of course, the men play at 4:15. All fans wear white Troy gear. The first 1,000 fans receive a whiteout rally towel, and Troy football team honored at halftime. And the Sun Belt and New Orleans trophies will be presented and available also for pictures. Should be a lot of fun this weekend at the Trojan Arena. Mike, also, though, we've got a big event coming up on Friday, or the whole weekend, actually, is the 17th Annual Leadership Conference at Troy University, and Georgia Congressman John Lewis, who actually is a native of Pike County, will be the keynote speaker, and also Terry Sewell will be there. So that's going to be also a big event. And that starts on Friday and will be last throughout the weekend. So there's going to be a lot going on in the T-Town this weekend, the real T-Town.
Those people you see on television a lot, John Lewis and Terry Sewell. Terry Sewell's brother, Anthony Sewell.
Yeah.
A long-time
used to coach here, didn't he?
And assistant for Maestri at Troy.
Sure did. And, of course, he and Maestri were very close. And you're right. Her daddy was the great basketball coach over there for so many years. Do you remember that?
That's right. Yeah. She's been really involved in politics for a long time. I know that. I've seen her in a lot of different campaigns. And she was a big supporter of Doug Jones up here in Birmingham. She was right there next to him on the podium when he won that night.
Yeah. Of course, a big article in the Messenger today about Brian Blackman. one of the most successful high school football coaches, had been named a full-time assistant coach on the Troy staff. Coach Brown, Neil Brown, announced that on Monday. Mike, you know a little bit about Brian Blackman. Tell us about him.
I mean, I've known him just from going to college. I mean, at Troy around the same time. He, I think, played 1 year of football at UNA, and you know, he's a Robert E. Lee guy. Played on state championship at Robert E. Lee. He's, you know, learning Spence McCracken, and basically his relationship is with Spence. You know, he coached with Spence and Robert E. Lee, and then they went to Opelika together, and he coached for several years as assistant head coach, and then became the head coach after Spence retired. And you know, he'd be a good guy to talk to you about Jake Bentley. You know, he coached Bentley, you know, the South Carolina quarterback.
That's right,
so
yeah.
good that you know, ended up graduating school a year early and playing. And you know, Blackman's team that year went to the state championship game, and everybody thought for sure they'd win it, but they got beat by a local Birmingham school, Ramsey.
Yeah.
Won the state championship. I'm sure Coach Blackman's still pretty heartbroken over that.
Yeah.
But
well, I'll tell you something about him too.
Troy, and,
yeah.
You know, he was a guy that was involved in the university and first chance to coach college ball, and Coach Brown's giving him an opportunity. I think it'll be a good situation. I think he'll recruit a lot of players from that Auburn, Georgia area.
That's what I was telling somebody about that yesterday. He and his brother, of course, his brother is one of the top coaches in the state at Spanish Fort in Mobile, and and he's very well known in the Mobile area, and could help him recruit some pretty good players out of there.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I mean, I even heard, you know, Ben say that the other night, that he's going to help him recruit.
Yeah, and of course,
he's a sharp guy. I mean, he's a guy that I think if he goes into, you know, any home or any school, I think, you know, people are going to definitely, you know, try to help him as much as they can.
Yeah. Well, he's a good young coach, and you know, Coach Brown, I'm sure has been.
I'd say Ron's probably around 45, 46.
Yeah.
So he's still a young guy.
And of course, like you said, the Auburn Opelika area is also a prime area.
Well, I mean, Troy University is racked up in Auburn over the years. I mean,
yeah.
The amount of great players that have come out of Auburn High School is incredible.
Yeah. You know, his record at Opelika was 69-25. And that's one of the top records of any coach that's ever coached over in that area. And but we're excited about him being here. And
of course, Troy's got to find a linebacker coach now.
Yeah, that's right, losing coach. And you know, he's going to Ole Miss, and he'll do a great job. He was one of those up-tempo type coaches, and that I always liked. You know, the guys that get in your lap. You know, if you do good, and you get in your lap if you do bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Ole Miss have got a rule now about to come out from the NCAA that if, you know, any coach leaves, you know, this is throughout the country, the player can leave. So that's going to be really interesting. You know, now you're going to have these guys that, you know, are sophomores and freshmen and stuff like that, or redshirt freshmen, and, you know, some of these big-time players can just leave immediately. It's going to change college football a lot.
Oh, man, Mike, I don't know if I like that again. Now, tell me about the rule again.
I kind of like it because, I mean, you sign with a university usually because of the coach.
Yeah.
If the coach leaves and takes another job.
Oh, I got you. Oh, if the coach leaves.
The players will be able to leave just like the coach.
Yeah, that's right. But now it's got to be a head coach, not an assistant coach.
That's right, head coach.
Okay, I understand. We're going to take a short break. We got Brother George is going to be here, Mike, and we're going to talk a little bit about Troy University athletics. Hold on, we'll be right back.
Here's some Napa know-how for you. Your local Napa Auto Parts store in Troy is under new ownership with an all-new, fully stocked store. Big deal, you say? Big deal, we say. Like the ownership, the store has a new look, too. We're still delivering the same Napa quality and know-how, but we've increased our inventory and are committed to helping you find the parts you need when you need them. So come check us out. We've got the right part at the right price at the right time.
Know-how, Napa know-how. Life is hectic enough without worrying if your lights will stay on or if there's hot water for your child's bath. So count on natural gas to keep the energy flowing, even when the weather is unpredictable. Natural gas is always there to keep your home warm, showers hot, and food cooked to perfection. That's why America has relied on safe and affordable natural gas for more than 150 years. And we will be here for you and future generations too. You can count on natural gas from Southeast Alabama Gas District.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance.
Mike. All right, here we go. Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, and of course it is a Wednesday, and we've got a lot going on. We've just mentioned a few moments ago about a big basketball game coming up in Troy this weekend. And Brother George, good to see you.
Good to see you, Mike.
And how are things going?
Going really well. Looking forward to, as
Yeah.
you mentioned, some big basketball games this Saturday in Trojan Arena. Our men's and women's basketball teams are both taking on South Alabama, so a big rivalry game for
no
us.
question about it.
And we've changed this into a whiteout game. So what we're asking is for all fans to wear white for this game. We'll have rally towels for the first 1,000 fans in attendance. We'll also have white T-shirts for the first 500 students there at the game. I know you all talking about football as I was coming in here as well too, and we're actually honoring the Troy football team at halftime of the men's basketball game.
No question about it, yeah.
And Coach Brown will be speaking to the fans in attendance. And we've also got both of our trophies, so the Sun Belt Conference Championship Trophy as well as the New Orleans Bowl Trophy. Those will both be on hand for fans to come by in the Rotunda area to take pictures with the trophies prior to the game.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about you, and I want to know about that pen you've got there.
Well, yes, sir. So I'm coming up on about a year here in Troy now. Again, Kyle George with Troy Athletics for marketing. So I oversee all of our marketing and our efforts on that side of things for us. But it's been a great year for us so far. We've had some great record-setting crowds, and a big part of that is just all of our fans are so excited to support Troy right now. It's a great time to be a Trojan. We've been really fortunate from football into basketball. Baseball's had some record turnouts as well too. Softball's always been very competitive. They're going to have a new young team this year, get a chance to rebuild a little bit. Been very fortunate where we've had a lot of wins on all different sides of the program.
Of course, now you're from the Birmingham area, is
Yes,
that
sir.
right? Born and raised, is that right?
I was actually born in Washington, D.C., and then moved down to Birmingham. I was about 4 years old, so grew up in Alabama my whole life.
And of course, went to University of Alabama. Where'd you go to school?
Sanford University in Birmingham.
Sanford,
That's where I went to
okay.
school. My whole family actually all went to school there, and so it's.
So you're a good Baptist, is that right?
Yes, sir. Grew up Baptist. I was fortunate to go to Sanford, and then from Sanford went to Southern Miss before I came here to Troy.
We were with Sanford's coach last Thursday night, weren't we, Mike? Hello.
Yeah, Coach Hatcher.
Yeah, he's done a good job.
Hatcher's a good guy. He's a real him and there's some interesting connections between Coach Hatcher and Coach Brown because Hatcher was actually the wide receivers coach while Coach Brown was at Kentucky. So they've gone back.
I
for
didn't
a long
realize
year.
that. I knew Hatcher grew up.
You know Hatcher played for Mummy and Mike Leach.
Yeah,
Right.
Of course, he was a quarterback, wasn't he, on that
Valdosta
team?
State. Yep.
Yeah,
And
he's
of course,
a,
that's a big family now, that
one of those,
Valdosta crew
one of
is.
them.
It is. There's some good footballs been played
All
there.
that spread out, all of that Mummy and Tony Franklin group is getting to be quite a few of those now.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Neil's success. You know, Neil's definitely one of those guys.
Yeah,
And,
so he and Hatcher are friends. then.
Hatcher, you know, was coach at Georgia Southern. He used to be offensive coordinator at Florida State. I mean, he's been a lot of places.
How long did he stay at Georgia Southern? It surprised me a little bit that
2 or 3 years, I think.
but he was really, I reckon it's his first head coaching job, wasn't it? Or was it?
It was a big change, you know, because you know they were used to the wishbone, and you know he came in and tried to run the spread.
Yeah.
You know.
And of course, you know, from what I heard, we won't just jump right off of it real quick.
You know, Sanford's got Scott Padgett, played at Kentucky as their basketball
Right.
coach, played in the NBA for about 10 or 11 years too. So,
Yeah, I
He's
remember
on the
that.
radio up here a lot in Birmingham. He seems like a really good guy.
Boy, they used to have a top-notch program with what was his name that was there?
Jimmy
Jimmy
Tillett.
Oh, Tillett did a great
Yeah,
job.
and before him, you had John Brady as well.
Yeah,
too,
Brady,
so
that's
they had
right.
Some good basketball there.
I tell you what, Brady's the only coach I know that if I had to bet on what coach is going to end up in a straitjacket one day, it's going to be Brady. He gets so carried away, at Gates. But where's Brady now? Is he coaching?
He's retired.
He's retired now.
He fired from Arkansas State,
Yeah.
so I don't know what he's doing now.
But you're right, Sanford
He
had.
always say he took LSU to a Final Four.
He sure did, and I mean, what I'm saying, he would get into it a game. The fans everywhere always are getting on to Brady, and
Sanford's such a beautiful university, and the only problem with Sanford is everything's gated. I wonder if eventually they'll run out of land to even do anything there.
yeah, I rode by there last weekend.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Well,
It's one of the prettiest universities in Alabama.
no question about it. Of course, our good friend Chan Gailey was a coach up there one
Right,
time.
he was.
Were you around during all those times, or
Wasn't
were you at Alabama?
during that time. When I was in school, I had Pat Sullivan as head coach.
Oh, yeah, a great
so
guy.
Sullivan did a great job with the program. One of the best people you'll come across in
Oh,
athletics.
yeah. No question. And of course, he's not well right now, and our prayers and our thoughts go out to him. Of course, a Heisman Trophy winner, but you're right. No, I don't know if there'd have been a better guy to coach football ever in the state of Alabama than Pat Sullivan. Of course, tell us a little bit about you and how you got your way all the way to being here at Troy.
So I had the opportunity with Jeremy McClain, our director of athletics, to work with him while I was at Southern Miss. And so Brent Jones and I both had the opportunity to come over here to Troy, get a chance to really build up our marketing department. That was something that was unique and exciting to me, getting a chance to start with a great program here at Troy, but we hadn't really had a true marketing department before.
Yeah,
a lot of people had different roles, but nobody had really focused on marketing.
That's
so
right.
we've been really fortunate to be here at a great time. We've got great student support. We've seen that especially during football season, but now we're getting into the conference schedule right now for basketball, and the students have been tremendous.
Yeah.
It's been great to see. I was actually speaking with SGA in our freshman forum. We've visited with several fraternities and sororities over the weekend as well too, talking to them about this upcoming game and really what it means to our players as well as our coaching staff to see that support from the student body. It makes a world of a difference
Well,
for us.
I tell you this, since y'all been here and talking about you and Brent, and of course, it all started with Jeremy, but he brought you two guys in there, and y'all's coordination, with the students and the fans, to me, have been the best I think I've ever seen, and I've been around Troy all my life, pretty much, but. Y'all are really doing great jobs. So I say to myself, we had the pep rally that we had, where we had the entire band there.
Yes, sir.
That was one of the most well orchestrated pep rallies that I think I've ever seen at Troy. And then when I got there, the reason was you had a headphone on, Brent had a headphone on, the band guy had a headphone on. Everybody was coordinating with each other, and it went. What was that for? What was that?
So that was back during Trojan Madness, as we had
man.
before football's game against South Alabama.
And it was just packed out, and the whole band was there.
Mm-hmm.
What is it illegal to bring the whole band to a basketball game?
It's not actually, and we will have a larger pep band than normal
Good.
for this Saturday. That's one thing that working with the pep band, and as you mentioned, the communication side of things. We're really fortunate where everybody talks. They want to work together here on campus.
Yeah.
We're not able to get the students without Student Affairs Office and Greek Life wanting to help out. Same thing with the pep band and the Sound of the South. Like they want to help. They want to do new things, and so we're really fortunate where it's a collaborative effort at Troy.
Exactly.
There's other places where people don't want to work together, but we're fortunate where everybody does want to do that.
What I hope that we'll get to one day, Mike, and of course, over the years I've been to a lot of SEC venues and in basketball and watched how they do things. South Alabama does it the same way, pretty much, where not just the cheerleaders are involved, but the dancers and people like that. They'll surround the entire court, and I hope one day that not only will we be able to have a great group of cheerleaders, but maybe some dancers and some other things that we can do a big time, have that big time effect at every halftime, or not just halftime, but at every time out.
Certainly. And for this Saturday as well, too, that's one thing where for both games, we'll have all of our cheerleaders at the game.
That's great.
So we'll have all 45 that we've got on the
roster.
roster.
That is good.
They're all
going
to be there,
good.
filling up the entire sideline on both sides.
Yes, that's right.
Right. And you know, we were talking through, and we're like, man, we're going to get a little bit tight on space, but that's a great problem to have. We want to make it tight. We want to make it loud, make it engaging and fun, because that's where you get that energy started.
Yeah. All right, last home game you had the Dollar Night, which I thought was a big success. I probably didn't get as many hot dogs as I wanted, but the guy in front of me, I was talking about this yesterday. The guy in front of me, I think, had four hot dogs, and you know, I was going to just get two, but when I went up there and asked for two, they said, well, you can have one hot dog, one popcorn, and one drink for $1, which was a heck of a deal. Mm-hmm. But you know, I think you know, if we would have given away all the hot dogs for $1, we might have run out, you know.
Yeah, there's a few stipulations that our concessionaire wanted to put just to make sure they didn't get overrun by people asking for 20 and such.
Exactly, you're right.
There's a few things such as that, but overall, it's a great value, great deal. And
I always go by the concession stand after the game, and a lot of times they've got leftovers.
Right. Well, it's a great value opportunity for us to bring in folks that maybe don't normally come to a basketball game. And I know in some of our communications we send out to our students, we've got a lot of students that are at different campuses, whether it's Dothan, Montgomery, and they're your non-traditional students. They're maybe going back for a degree or for a master's, and they use that opportunity to bring their family to Troy for the first time, many for them. So there's a great opportunity for us to get them on board, come see a basketball game, because that's what we want to do. As long as we get you guys into Trojan Arena, we want to keep you coming back. So we make it fun where you want to come back.
I tell you, if y'all can do it, and Mike, you've made this comment many times, I don't know if we've ever had more and better student involvement in football, and y'all did a great job of that, and now you're trying to make the same kind of impact in basketball. We were talking yesterday, you know, Duke. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody looks at Duke and looks at a lot of these big programs. Well, Duke puts their students right there in the middle, and you know, they don't even sit down. You know, and I don't know how do they get away with that.
Well, one thing we've kind of realized, we got a beautiful arena, and our chairs are really comfortable.
That's right.
We got to get them up out of the chairs. We got to get them up out of the chairs. So we're still working on that part with our student body. But the good thing is we've had some great conversations with our student leaders, and a lot of it, yes, I've reached out to them, but it's also a two-way street where a lot of the times they're reaching out to me, coming up with ideas about why don't we do this for the student section or do that. Yeah. So it's great having that dialogue back and forth where we want our students to own that area, make it their own, make it to where, you know, you don't want them just to come and just sit down and watch the game. We want them to be actively engaged and make it to where they're proud about their student section. Exactly. They want to make it loud for the opposing team. There's a reason we got them right across from the visiting team, so we want to make sure we're using that to our advantage.
I was at a Charles Henderson game. In fact, we televised it.
They need to bring back that student that used to shoot free throws would take his shirt off to show his belly.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he was pretty funny, no question. I wonder where that guy is today. But something that we were talking about the other day, we televised the Charles Henderson game against one of the schools out of Montgomery. And the Charles Henderson student body and Coach Cunningham and Coach Grant were there looking at some players and recruiting. And they got that hook arm, swaying back and forth. Mike, you know what I'm talking about? Hooking the arms. And I bet they had 100 kids doing it. And I'm sure Coach Cunningham was saying to Coach Grant I wish we did that at Troy. It was really, it had a lot of impact. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, and Coach Cunningham has actually come out and said that he's been blown away by student support, too. That's one thing that I know he's told me the past two games we had are two of the best attendance games he's seen in his career here, which is great to see. You know, we've still got a lot more building to do in basketball. Sure. You know, we've had a great mark in football, and there's been a great tradition there. Basketball, we're still building up, and it takes time and collective effort. But it's been great to see we're getting the students there. They're showing up. Now it's time for us to take that next step forward.
And we've got 3 in a row here at home.
We do.
And this could, you know, this is where we really got to start pouring it on, is to get our momentum going, not only with our attendance and our team, we can turn around and do the same thing.
Absolutely.
You had just been hired this time a year ago. Is that right?
My first day on the job was when we won the championship.
Yeah.
So I came in at a great day. It was I thought they were celebrating me.
And you went to
and
New
they weren't doing
Orleans.
that.
That's a pretty nice place.
It was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. And talking with Coach Cunningham and his staff, our women's basketball team, they're on a great run right now. They've won 3 in a row, and they've gone on the road to get some big wins in Louisiana. But our men's team, they had a tough road swing. Lafayette's a great program out there. They're 18-3, I think, in the season now. But for our men's team, you look back at what we were at last year.
That's right.
Very similar to our record right now. Went on a 10-game winning streak to close out the season, win the Sun Belt Conference tournament. So there's an opportunity right now where we need to get that momentum for these next 3 home games, use that as a launching pad to really make a run for the championship.
Of course, the big guy from Phoenix City or Russell County is really starting to play well. Not only on the
You're talking about Hicks.
Yeah, Hicks. Especially scoring and rebounding. Well, one of our problems is offensive rebounds. We're not getting but one shot. We've got to go to the boards and get more rebounds. Well, I mean, it's easy said and done, but that's one of the things that I've noticed. But when Bernardo got hurt, it sort of hurts your chemistry a little bit because you got one of your better players is not in there, and then you turn to more. You have to depend on Person more and depend on Hicks. But gosh, they've got some other guys that are coming around real well now.
We really do. We've got a very talented team. I think
we really do, don't we?
You hit the nail on the head talking about when Bernardo went down. That's your leading scorer. That's where you run the offense through a lot of times. It opens up Wesley Person for those corner threes.
That's right.
You had to readjust and get to a different kind of style of play. Now that you are reincorporating Bernardo back in, now he's healthy. It's great to have him back in the lineup. But you got to relearn a little bit about the chemistry. But I think they're starting to click. You get guys like Alex Hicks really came on strong. He was a great asset there for us. B.J. Miller's one too as a guard. He's athletic, can go up and get those huge dunks.
He's just sort of the fireball. He's the guy that starts getting the adrenaline flowing.
Right. Another one you're seeing them starting to work in a little bit more now is true freshman Javen Johnson.
Boy, I like him.
I like Johnson a lot. And we got those athletic guys on the wings that can be strong defensive players for you, but can also get out and run for you as well, too. So we're still getting that all incorporated together.
And, Mike, I was looking at this with these young players. Troy is going to be good in the future with these young players. Of course, Bernardo's got another year. And Hicks does too, I think.
He does.
So we've
he
got
does.
we've got a chance to build on.
They lose Person, Baker, and Davis.
So we've got a chance to build on all this if we can go back and have another successful tournament. And we were talking about that. That tournament's going to be in New Orleans. That should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. That's a fun place for our fans to get a chance to go down to. We've obviously spent quite a bit of time in New Orleans here recently between the bowl game last year for the conference championships for basketball as well too. So it's an easy drive for our fans to get to. And tickets can actually be purchased right now for the conference championships. You can get those online through TroyTrojans.com/tickets or just give us a call at 877-878-WINS. And again, that's for your conference tournament championship tickets, but also any of your ticket needs. We can always take care of that because
everybody gets to go to the tournament now, don't they?
Correct. Everybody makes a tournament.
I like that a lot. And of course, we get on fire. No telling how good this team can. If it rebounds well, rebounding is the key to everything.
When does baseball start up here in about 2 more weeks?
Today marks 15 days. So opening day will be Friday, February 16th for us, and then we'll also have their fan day coming up this Saturday as well too, for baseball and softball.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Certainly, it'll be opening up. Gates will open at 10 a.m. The actual event will begin at 11 a.m. at Riddle Pace Field, and what this is baseball and softball combined. So a great opportunity to see both of the teams. Get a chance for you to get the poster signed, watch batting practice for the baseball team out there.
Great.
We'll have free hot dogs, free soft drinks for the fans as well
great
too.
place for lunch.
Absolutely, come by, grab some
free,
lunch.
Free.
Can't beat that. I got another free item too. If you're bringing the kids out there, so any kids 12 and under, if you're coming out to Fan Day this Saturday, so again, it's 11 a.m. Riddle Pace Field, you'll also get a free ticket to the basketball games that afternoon.
Wonderful.
So if you're a young little Trojan fan, we want to make sure you get a chance to meet all the players and come out to basketball.
We're just so fortunate to have Division I sports right here in our town, and again, this is a nice event. I've been to it every year, and like you said, you get to meet each player and find out a little bit about them. And of course, I've already bought my season tickets. Gosh, I've had season tickets for as long as I can remember. But Mike, me and you have spent many a fun night or afternoon at Real Pace Field, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in, I guess, ever since I was a little kid, from '76 to 2018. So I guess I've been to about as many baseball games and football games as most. But basketball, I mean, that's what I say all the time to Dad. I was like, I'm just kind of blown away. I mean, we used to sell out Sartain Hall left and right. We were Division II, 3,000 seat arena. Now we got a 5,200 seat arena. I never thought we had struggled this much basketball as far as getting fans to go to games. It's been kind of baffling to me, but hopefully they'll turn around here. I mean, hopefully we can, you know, in the years to come when Coach Cunningham and these teams, you know, the city of Troy needs to really come out and support in the surrounding areas, the Dauphins, the Enterprise, the Elbas, you know, the Brantleys, the Luverns, the Montgomerys. I mean, especially the quality of player we got this year. I mean, I know we're not record-wise what a lot of people thought we'd be, but got to come out and support these guys. I mean, I watch all these games on ESPN3 all the time, and I'm just really just blown away by the crowds. I just can't get over it.
You've been around
hopefully
for pretty
we'll find
good.
a way to do something to get these fans back out.
At the first of the year, I was thinking this could be one of the best basketball teams Troy's ever put on the court. I mean, ever put on the court. We've had some great ones, and I grew up watching them and seeing some great ones. But you know, like you said, chemistry has a lot to do with it. Injuries have a lot to do with it. But don't you see that the future is bright for this program, and especially with the guys they're recruiting?
Absolutely. As you're talking about the guys that are stepping up right now, and in terms of you're never going to be able to replace a Wesley Person. That's a tough one to replace. He's a 4-year starter, leading scorer all time for Troy University for all divisions, as well as just broke the Sun Belt record for most three-pointers in a career. So one of the most decorated players. It's tough to replace him in that lineup. But you do have a lot of guys that are coming up and ready to fill in some voids. So it's going to be a different looking team when you lose a guy like Wesley Person next year, but you have a lot of talented athletes in this team that can run, they can shoot, they can defend. So we're going to have some good teams next year as well.
Now, growing up, were you a basketball guy or a football guy?
I was basketball.
I had a feeling.
I was a basketball player growing up.
And I remember playing that old gym at Sanford with that the worst place in the world to play a home game, Mike.
They have sunlight coming in.
What I'm saying, during the day. You didn't ever want to play them during the day because the sun would blind you.
Old Cybert Hall there's coming right in on you.
It was a beautiful environment, but it was hard to play. If you're going to play them, you want to play at night.
Absolutely. And there's a reason why we had a lot of afternoon games. I grew up as a kid going to a lot of
But now they have a
Sanford
beautiful
games.
facility up there now, don't they?
They do. You have the Pete Hansen.
I heard the athletic director Newton was on. That's C.M. Newton's son, and he's a.
I didn't know that.
And they said that they were going to do some renovations to the football stadium, like add more seats and I guess maybe redo the press box and some stuff like that.
They need to.
Have they already started doing all that?
I don't think they've started doing that, but I know they've talked about that it's been an item that's been discussed for a few years. I think it's now getting to the front burner right now for them, which is a good thing to have.
It's a beautiful setting for
It is.
football.
It
I
is.
just always.
Especially in the
Every
fall.
island wanted
In the fall, and you see those trees right there.
Absolutely.
It is beautiful. Now, tell us a little bit. I know we're jumping around a little bit right now, but we got you, man. We want to find out more and more about it. Are you okay time-wise?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
All right.
Always happy to hang out with you, Mike.
Well, I always enjoyed you, and I tell you what, these guys are the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. They know what to do and how to do it, and we got an opportunity to build on, first of all, have a great weekend this weekend, and then with a big game against South Alabama. You can't get any bigger than that as far as our rivalries. And then we got a huge game on Thursday and another big game on this Saturday.
Right.
So we've got so much going on right now. We need to really take advantage of it. But I would like, and everybody wants to know, and boy, it looks better every day as the end zone. The architecture is going to make that look like, it's a new facility, but it has the old look.
Absolutely. It has that same continuity of
right.
Veterans Memorial Stadium. That's something I think that's unique to all Troy's campuses as well, because the buildings all keep that same look and appeal. But construction's been going great right now. You're starting to see the rooms coming together on the inside. I got a chance to walk through it not too long ago, and you're seeing the structure come together inside. It's not just bricks on the outside. You're starting to see the inside of the building coming together. Also this week, you'll start seeing the actual video board going up rather soon.
Exactly.
That's being delivered from Daktronics either today or tomorrow. We're going to start work on that. That'll be a long process of getting it all in there, but the goal is for that to be in place by T-Day in April.
Well, do me a favor, Mike. I think you're going to agree with me. We don't do we don't have I would love to see instant replay on every play. Is there a chance?
The hard part for us with getting instant replay on every play is our up-tempo offense.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Oh, and we try to get as much as we can. Part of the problem is
what I'm saying is you go to Ryan Denny and they do it every play.
Mm-hmm. Our issue is Coach Brown likes to push the pedal on it. Sure. I got to be ready to get back to that live shot quick. So we try to get as much as we can in there.
But we are. It is going. I mean, we're going to really utilize this board.
Right, and we'll have more capabilities too. It's going to be a new system that goes in place. So you'll still have the old board still that's over there by the Sound South. But the thing that I'm excited about as well too is that you have the student section, the band, well, they always just had a video board behind them. Right. Now you're going to have one that they can actually see. We can use more crowd prompts of getting people into the game. But as you're saying, too, you have multiple options now. So if somebody misses a play, you have another spot and vantage point to watch the replay.
Especially like if you've got a big play.
They'll play it. They'll be able to show it if there's a review.
Yeah, well, exactly. The review is very important. I mean, I think ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have one of the nicest video boards in college football. I mean, and it takes a lot of skill to operate it, and you got to know what you're doing, and I know you're going to have trained people that are going to do it. I think it's going to really add to a game, don't you?
It will. The video board itself will be a great connection or addition to it. We also have new seating going in that area as well, too. You have a little bit over 400 seats that'll be available in the north end zone. We also have what we're going to be rolling out here relatively soon as well, too, is that you'll have these tents in the back as well, too. They're available for purchase for people that have group outings out there as well. So instead of having to be just in the suite as one option, you have another option now, too, for companies, whatever else.
All right. Will that be up top?
That'll be up top.
Tents up top.
To the left and right of the video board where it's going in, we'll have some space for actual tents inside the facility.
And then, of course, how will they do the?
How's that going to work? As far as will there be a walkway from each side to go around?
They're building in those.
I like that. I like that.
They're building in those steps, so you have those connections to go into the concourses for both locations. So it'll be a nice connection point to where you are able to have access to the full facility.
Yeah, and of course the stadium club is going to remain the same too.
Stadium club will remain the same. There'll be some new additions that keep going into the north end zone. One of the cool things as well too for our student athletes is we'll have a much more expanded weight room in there as well too. Another thing they've added in there as well, and once we get everything
where they can get everybody in there if they had to. You know, at Alabama, you can get the whole team in there. Is that right, Mike?
That's right.
And that'll enable us to do the same thing.
It will, and the thing that's going to be great about this is that's going to be a much more open floor plan. Our current one, the Stadium Tower, you have some little pockets that are kind of hard for the staff to stay in full sight line of the whole group. So you have much more individualized process with it. There's also a ramp, so instead of turning this into a staircase, one of the things they wanted to do is work on their speed work inside. So it's a straight ramp going up where they're going to have this worked out where they're going to have speed work indoors as well as like a track area for them.
Well, all right, now.
It's so amazing, Dad. Like, people don't realize Troy used to work out in Sartain Hall.
Yeah,
that's right.
A little basement area
down underneath it. Have you ever seen that?
I have.
You ever gone underneath that?
It's come a long way.
When I played, that's where we worked out.
Yep.
And then they moved to Tom Davis Fieldhouse, and now they've been in the press box for years. But it's amazing, kind of how that's. Because when I worked in the athletic department back when I was in college, I remember me and a couple of guys had to go in there and paint the weight room in Sartain Hall.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was in 94, 95.
Yeah.
So amazing how many times they've moved since then.
We call it the fallout shelter. But now, of course, your first name?
Kyle.
Kyle. I was wanting to call you Brett.
Just call him Brother George.
I know, I call him Brother George. And of course, Kyle George, ladies and gentlemen, comes in here to Troy, like we said, coming up in a few weeks. Y'all been here a whole year.
Yes, sir.
And of course, Brent, you and Brent have worked together, and you and and you know, our AD has worked very good, Jeremy. He seems to be one of us. What I'm saying,
Right.
He is down to earth as he can be. I think he has time for everybody, regardless of how much money you give the program.
Sure.
You know, I mean, everybody's important to him, and I think he has the class. He's a class individual that you gotta like. You know.
We're really fortunate with Jeremy's leadership, and it's a trickle-down effect to where you see everybody in our athletic department. You have a lot of great people. I think that's what makes us successful is that we have people that have the right values, that care about Troy, that want to make sure this is a community effort here. And Jeremy's one that he cares deeply about who works for him as well too. I know that was one of the things when I was talking with Jeremy about coming here. He told me, he said, you can go a lot of places in the country. You're talented enough to do that, but you won't have anybody else going to care about you as much as I will. And he's done so much for opening doors for myself, Brent, everybody else in our staff. So he's one of the people that really, really fortunate to have him as our leader.
When we hired, this is a good way to say it. When we hired Jeremy, and you were still at Southern, and of course, you know, I think how many times you heard me say, Mike, we might not ever be another Alabama-Auburn, but we could be another Southern Miss, which Southern Miss is not bad at all.
They're not. They're not.
They have been there a long time. But when Troy hired Southern, and of course you were still at, hired Jeremy, and you were still at Southern Miss, what did you say to yourself?
You know, it's a tough decision for me to leave Southern Miss. I love Southern Miss. Was there
I know, but actually before you were hired, when Troy just hired Jeremy, what did you say?
Knew it was a perfect fit. It was a perfect place for Jeremy to go
Troy made a good decision.
Right, Troy made a great decision.
And then you were saying that to yourself.
Right, and seeing what had been done in the prep work, you know, the leadership here at Troy really put the pieces in place to have success. And Jeremy was able to walk into a great operation here with the new facilities for Trojan Arena, with the process in place for the North End Zone. He knew the success was in the future still for Troy.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing, is that our best days are still ahead of us here at Troy. And we got a chance to keep moving forward with leadership such as Chancellor Hawkins, with Jeremy McLean. Those individuals have a great view and future in place for us.
Exactly. And so many things have happened, and a lot of them are little things. And I think you're going to agree with me when I say this. The new parking lot that holds 550 cars is perfect for football Saturdays.
It will be.
That is a short walk.
It is. It's
you
a
think
short
about
walk.
it, a short walk to the stadium, and we've added 550 new parking places, Mike.
It's great for football as well. That's going to be fantastic for us to have. But just for our student body on a normal day at campus, I've seen that utilized quite a bit since the new year began here for us. And that's great to see that Troy listens to see what we need to be successful.
Exactly.
You know, we have more and more students on campus every single day, which is a great issue for us to have. Now we just got to keep adding more spaces for them. And so we're having a lot of students continue to come to Troy. And with a campus that has nearly 8,000 students, we're seeing that great turnout from those students coming out to our ball games as well, too. So it's great to have that connection. These students are right here in Troy coming to us.
I was at the storytelling festival this weekend. I really enjoyed it and had a good time. But with the new parking, it makes the Trojan Center so much more easy to get to.
Certainly.
And again, with the Wellness Center coming up now, we're talking about a first-class, state-of-the-art wellness program, which I know you got to be excited about.
Absolutely.
And I think everybody's excited about it. That's going to just put icing on the cake.
It will. It'll be. I know students have been looking forward to this for several years now. This has been a project that's been in the works for quite some time. And seeing the mock-ups, and now you're starting to see the dirt moving around. They're starting to work in that parking lot, get things ready for this.
Are they going to tear down Sartain Hall?
I believe at some point they most likely will.
Yeah, I went to a concert there the other night, and I said, God, this is still a nice facility.
It is. It's
and I think that's where this program is going to be held this weekend too. I like Sartain. Everybody's got a different opinion about the building. I know it, and it really wasn't a bad place to play basketball.
No, that's you have kind of that reminiscing about what a facility like that can hold.
That's right.
We as a program at
5,000 people if you put people on the floor. It
was something that we needed a larger space to keep modernizing, but you don't necessarily want to lose that kind of history as well too.
Michael always said, Mike, you still here? Hello.
They get to move on.
He might have, but Mike always said it always is impressive when you go on campus and see cranes. Yeah,
it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We've had some big cranes there.
Well, and it's something that ever since I've been here, which has been just a year, but there's always been some new project taking place, and a lot of times in the college space, you don't see as much development taking place. We're fortunate where we keep growing, whereas other schools are starting to cap off and starting to decline slightly. So it's really a great time to be a Trojan. We keep attracting more students on campus from all areas of the country, all across the globe as well, too. Our international campus has become where we have nearly 1,000 international students on campus currently. It's been great to see that Troy brand continue to stretch across the globe.
All right, of course, again, and it's great. It's a great problem to have, but like tickets and picking up tickets and buying tickets to the game, do y'all foresee any kind of way where you could buy, people could buy tickets ahead of time?
And you can do that right now. Fans can actually go online at troytrojans.com/tickets to purchase their tickets.
Now, how does that work?
What you do is you go onto the website, and what you're able to do is purchase your season tickets. You can purchase individual game tickets, all of that online. We're working to continue to improve that.
And then how do you get those tickets?
What you're able to do with that is it's either mailed to you.
See, this is what this is how much I know how to do that.
They're either mailed to you or available for pickup at will call. So either way, you're still able to get your tickets. What we're working on in the future, and this might be in place by next year, we're continuing to work with our ticket provider, Audience Fuse, who we work with on this, is to continue to optimize that to where maybe in the future you're able to actually get it on your cell phone and use that to be able to come in there. A lot of our stadiums in the country have that. We're working to improve there.
Because it still is a problem. I feel sorry for people that are caught in a line, because I don't want them missing the game.
Certainly.
The nightmare of all nightmares was when we played Mississippi State here. Did you know about that? That could have hurt us playing big schools because we weren't prepared. Is that right?
It was obviously I was not here at that time.
But you know about it, though, don't you?
I know about it. I know it was quite a learning experience for our department. That's where when we played Alabama State this year, we used that as an example of how we need to make sure we're prepared.
You did a great job of that.
And it took a full effort of everybody on campus. And that's where we're fortunate where, there's some things that we need additional help with. And we have people on campus that want to be able to help them because when you have a football game, it's not just the athletic department that showcases the entire university.
We're saying Mississippi State fans, a lot of them didn't even get into the stadium until the third quarter. I mean, it was terrible. But a lot of it also was security, and also everybody was worried about those cowbells. I mean, you can't do anything about it. If you play Mississippi State, you're going to have to put up with the cowbells. The SEC has to, don't they?
Well, when I was at Southern Miss, we guard against the cowbells.
Y'all know all about it, don't you?
We know quite a bit about that.
But you understand where I was coming from.
Right.
It was just, and like you said, you got to learn, and it was the first time we ever brought a real big program into Troy, and
that's something where we want to continue to keep getting better with our tickets because, as you mentioned, you don't want a fan missing any of the action.
And the last thing in the world is, for athletic directors to say, well, gosh, I hope they don't handle it like they did at Mississippi State, because, people want it done right,
Absolutely. So it's been good, and it's a good problem to have when you start getting a few lines. Now we don't want it to get too backed up, but that's a great problem when you start seeing more and more people who are showing up. And we had great crowds at Veterans Memorial Stadium this past year. We've had great crowds this year for Trojan Arena. 2 of our top 5 overall attended games have actually been this season. We still want to keep getting better, though. And again, that's why we really need everybody this Saturday for the whiteout game.
Well, all right, let me say something, and I got you here.
Yes, sir.
All right, Troy provides alcohol at a ball game, like beer. You can actually buy beer at a Troy basketball game, a baseball game, a football game. You can do that, but I really don't see it much. And what I'm saying is y'all do it in a very low-profile way, and I like that. You provide that. And the SEC doesn't even provide that, do they?
Right.
I mean, right now, Alabama and Auburn doesn't provide that.
They do not. The SEC currently does not have alcohol sales. Sun Belt was one of the first conferences that started moving towards
exactly.
this. And it's been I think it's been done well because it's still relatively new on our campus.
And it's it hadn't been a huge success, has it?
We've seen good revenue stream from that, but it also helps to improve your game day environment for your fans because your adult fans, they're used to going to professional games, and you can have that beverage if you'd like to. So
but what I was trying to say is sort of clean. I mean, y'all handle it in a clean way.
Right. It's handled in a clean way.
You don't see anybody stand and say cold beer. You don't hear that, you know.
Right. It's done
like at an Atlanta Braves baseball game. You know?
We try to do it in a tasteful manner because you do need to be cognizant that you are on a college campus.
Exactly.
And so we make sure that we're always careful about how it's done and done properly at all times.
And it's not really advertised so much. I mean, it doesn't have huge signs or anything like that. And I'm proud of my friends that are in that business. That they're able to do it in a very clean way, you know. Some people are for that, and some people are not, totally for it. But as long as it's controlled, I think it's very good.
Absolutely, it's been. We got great partners.
You don't want to see a high school kid walking down the aisles with some, that type of thing. And y'all make sure of that, don't you?
Absolutely. We're fortunate to have great partners with Horn Beverage. Booty Bruce and his entire staff are always fantastic for us to help out with.
Exactly right. Of course, are you excited about what we've got to come? And of course, with the Stadium Club, looks like not the Stadium Club, but with the End Zone, it looks like y'all have caught up and are sort of ahead of the game now.
And you're right. We're actually a bit ahead of schedule right now with construction, which most times does not happen. A lot of times you're behind schedule construction. So we've actually been very pleased. We've had some good weather to work with that as well too, because that's obviously a big part of any construction project. You got to have the weather cooperate with you as well. But things have been coming together very nice in the end zone for us there. Fans will actually get a chance to get a little bit more of an up-close look. We won't be inside of it quite yet, but next Wednesday will be National Signing Day. We'll have our National Signing Day party.
We'll have that party. It's really good, too.
That'll be on the 4th floor of the stadium tower. Again, that's 5:30 to 7 o'clock. Get a chance. We've already had a lot of guys sign.
Fun time to be around Troy.
It is, and this is the first year of the early signing period, and Coach Brown and his staff took advantage of that time, signing about 16 guys, I believe, already during that first part. So there's only a few more guys left to sign, but we'll be able to celebrate that entire class.
Well, sometimes you hear some of the major colleges griping a little bit about the early signing dates, but it really has helped the mid-level schools like Troy. They've got a big lineman, and they've got him recruited, and if you you're able to go ahead and sign him instead of waiting and letting one of these big schools, decide they want him. You know what I mean? It helps those smaller schools.
It does. You have those guys that have been committed to the program for quite some time. If you've already made that decision, this is a good opportunity for the student athletes as well to go ahead and they don't have to worry about it anymore. They can just go ahead and start working towards getting ready for college.
Exactly.
So I think it's been a good addition for everybody involved. And for Coach Brown and his staff as well, too. They took advantage of, let's go ahead and get these guys complete it, and then start working towards next year the rest of the time.
And let's say Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, or whatever, let's say that they were recruiting a guy, but they were trying to recruit somebody else. But then at the end they say, oh, I think we need to go back on this guy right there. Well, this way they can't go back on that guy.
Right.
And we've got him signed, We
do, and we have a good class as well too. That we got some great athletes coming in, and it's the type of guys that Coach Brown wants to have here as part of his program as well.
Exactly right. Of course, we lost a few coaches, but hey, that's going to happen. If you're good, other people are going to want you, and the people that can pay bigger money, you cannot blame Summerall, Coach Summerall, great coach, great guy, great family that love Troy, but he can't turn down Ole Miss, that can pay a lot more money.
I know for him that's a tough decision. I got a chance to speak with him before he left, and
good guy, wasn't he?
Great guy, and the entire coaching staff, Coach Kenny Edenfield, Coach Summerall, guys like that.
In fact, Summerall is one of the young gurus out there that's going to probably be a head coach one day.
I believe you're right. He's got all the intangibles that you look for in that type of leader.
But let's keep. I want to keep Vic, and I want to keep our offensive line coach. They're very good coaches.
Vic and Matt Moore, they're two of the best in the business.
They really are.
They're fantastic, and Vic's actually got that head coaching experience back when he was at Wyoming. One of the smartest tacticians when it comes to defense in the entire country. And Vic's great through and through. Loves Troy.
Yeah.
It's great having Vic here on the staff. Same thing with Coach Matt Moore. He's one of the one of the brightest offensive minds in the country. And we're really fortunate to have him. Sean Reagan is part of that staff as well too.
The reason we've been good the last 2 years is because of our offensive line. You don't do it without a good offensive line.
Absolutely. And we run that spread offense quick with the release, but you still got to have the time to get the ball
That's
out.
right.
And
1,001,
so
1,002, 1,003, you better get it off.
And it's gonna be interesting this year for us too, because there will be a bit of a quarterback competition coming up this
exactly. I like
year.
it. Yeah,
it's never a bad thing to have that competition factor. Brandon Silva's we're lucky with.
We got these young coaches. We're going to go out and recruit good players. I'm sure a lot of the other schools are probably using the fact that they, he's going to be going to a bigger school. Everybody we don't know what's going to happen. But hey, as long as he's here, we're going to get good players.
Absolutely. Neil's done a great job of connecting with the community as well too. He truly does care about Troy, and I know he's excited to have his team recognized this Saturday at the basketball games. It's going to be a big day for them. He's excited to get a chance to talk to our fans as well too. He'll get a chance to address the fans there as well. So it's a great chance for us to recognize their great accomplishments. It's a record-setting year for us. So we're looking forward to recognizing these guys at the basketball games. It doesn't hurt too that it helps us get more folks there. We've actually got, because we're recognizing the football team this Saturday, every single Troy football season ticket holder will also receive up to 2 complimentary tickets to the basketball games this Saturday as well too. So it's our football season ticket holder appreciation. It's a way we want to continue to have more opportunities to say thank you to our season ticket holders.
This is a great opportunity for you folks to go to be around Troy this weekend, and of course go to those 2 basketball games, but also go and meet the Trojans baseball and softball team.
Baseball and softball. And softball, they are 9 days away from their home opening game, which will be next Friday, February 9th against Tennessee State. So they're getting a chance to start up a very young team. I know Coach Mullins is excited about the new freshmen that are coming in, a lot of young arms in our pitching staff. So it'll be an exciting year for softball. That's free admission for every single game. One to circle as well, too. February 14th, Valentine's Day, 5 o'clock game at the Troy Softball Complex. Our Trojans are hosting Auburn, who's one of the top 10 programs in the country.
That's going to be great.
A big game there for us early on to get a chance to absolutely need everybody to pack it out for that one. And again, we're talking about baseball as well. We're 15 days away now from opening day at Riddle Pace Field. It's always great having that opening day environment as well.
Mike's not back on the line, but we were raving the other day going down Troy's baseball schedule. This has got to be one of the toughest baseball schedules I've ever seen Troy have. I know we got a 3-game series with Florida State, and of course we got Alabama and Auburn, but it's going to be a very competitive conference and a real good schedule for home games.
Sunbelt's got one of the top baseball conferences in the country. And, we were fortunate where 2 of the top 3 teams in the league come to us this year. We'll host Coastal Carolina, the 2016 national champions. You'll host South Alabama, who they're top 25 in the country to open the season up. We'll go to Louisiana Lafayette this year, which they're always a perennial top 25 team as well, too. So, again, Sunbelt's a tough league. We've got some great talent coming back. A guy like Joey Dennison, who was out all last season. Excited to have him back in right field. You'll have guys like Andrew Crane. Crane had the 4th lowest ERA in the country last year, had 40 consecutive scoreless innings pitched as well, too.
Of course, with Joey, you finally get some more pop in the you know what I'm talking about. That means home run power, some pop in your lineup. And of course, everybody loves the long ball and everything. I think we're going to be better at that. Troy's got a chance to have a real good team.
We really do. We've got some established players, such as like a Mason Rogers, who's been a very helpful player for us. Brandon Lockridge had a great season last year as a first-team All-Sunbelt selection. You got guys like Drew Frederick over at third base, who was a true freshman last year, coming back for his sophomore year. You expect to see a jump from him this year as well, too. So there's really some great players. Matt Sanders, another one who's a 4-year starter at second base. Chase Smart behind the plate there for us as well,
question.
Too. So
and I think he's going to have a breakout year. He's done well, but I think he's really I thought he was the best high school catcher I ever saw at a high school level. and he's starting to develop that way and be seen that way as a college player.
I think you're right. He does a great job of calling the game with his
Yeah.
pitching staff, and that's where it's key with baseball. You got to be able to limit the output from the other team. We should have some good arms this year as well too for Chase to work with. Some new guys coming in as well. Rush Hickson is a local guy from Banks.
Oh man, he's going to be fun to watch. He's a competitor and everything. And we got Southern Miss too, don't we?
Not this year, but hopefully in the future. I know that's something we're looking at with baseball-wise to get Southern Miss back in the schedule.
Yeah, that'd be a great one. Of course, they got a real good program too. And of course, you know, we can be so proud to live in a town. It really separates us from the Enterprises and, you know, which is a nice town, the Andalusias, the Eufaula's, Division I athletics in Troy, Alabama. And somebody said this not long ago. We were the smallest town, the second smallest town in the nation to have Division I football, and that was the other one.
Army West Point.
West Point, where Army is. So we've got something special here in Troy, Alabama. Division I athletics, and then of course Division I football.
And what we try to make sure we have is great value for our fans as well. So talking about baseball season, again, it's very close to us here. We still have season tickets available for purchase right now. A general admission season ticket costs $95 for 31 home games.
That's really
That's an average of $3 per ticket.
Really a buy.
It's a great find there for you. Indeed, if a baseball season's tough to make it out to every single game, understand that. But if you're going to miss even 10 games, you still have a great value by purchasing your season tickets.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's see if life's the same way growing up in Birmingham and Tuscaloosa like you were. There's plenty of room for cup football. I mean, for cup baseball. If you ever see kids take a cup and play cup baseball with their hands.
I haven't seen that one
You
before.
don't see that? Well, that's big here at Real Place Field, where they play that cup. The kids do.
Yes, sir.
You know, while the game's going on. All right. Now, Troy's also unique. The left field line is unique. Now, that has that has a tendency to hurt your revenue. But if it's like me, I go out there some, but I'm gonna buy season tickets anyway. And most of those guys are season ticket holders anyway.
You're right.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Most of the folks that are out there in the left field, they are season ticket holders. And you know, one thing that we're going to really focus on this year is we want to make it to where all the entertainment's right inside the gates there.
Exactly.
So we'll make it to where you come out to a game, you're going to want to be inside Riddle Pace Field. Not to take anything away from left field. We're not going to do that. We have a great group out there in Doubles Alley that they continue to support year in and year out. We want to continue to see that support out there. We're even working on some ideas with some fraternities to get out there and have some cook-off challenges between them. So we're looking at some different options so we can continue to
But it is
up.
a great venue. Your kids can run around and whatever and so forth. But y'all do a great job of your promotions inside, and your broadcast crew does a great job of keeping things rolling.
Right.
And nobody does the seventh inning stretch any better than Troy.
You got Barry McKnight.
Don't you agree?
I agree. I learned quickly in my first game that seventh inning, that's the Barry show. Let Barry take it away there for us. But that's a great, it's one of the things that makes it unique and fun coming to the ballpark. That's what's exciting about baseball.
Mid-level athletics, and of course, again, we're Division I, and we're not, it's going to be as big as Alabama and Auburn, those big-time Division I football programs. We might be as good as they are, but we probably won't be as large as they are, attendance-wise and so forth. But at the same time, looking at the mid-level programs in the country, we're very close to catching up with the Southern Misses. Don't you agree?
Well, in a lot of ways too, and I don't say it's in a braggy way, but I believe we surpassed a school such as Southern Miss. You look at our attendance
we're talking
numbers,
about a good program there.
A very good program. You look at the Group of Five, and we are. You have a stadium of 30,000 or more when it comes to football. Our capacity number is about 85%, I believe, this past year in terms of the number of fans that kept coming each game. So we were in the top 5 overall in the group of 5 in terms of the programs. That includes schools such as like a UCF, such as a South Florida. So when you look at the overall capacity numbers, we're meeting that. We're doing a great job with that. And that's a testament to our fans. Our fans continue to come out, continue to support our program. It's been back-to-back years of record-setting numbers in Veterans Memorial Stadium. And we've had events such as last year for baseball. We had the highest attended game in program history. We played Alabama. Basketball's been getting much better attendance-wise as well, too. Even soccer. Soccer had a top 5 attendance this past year as well. So there's several things that are moving in the right direction for us. A big part of that is our student body. Our student body continues to show up in great turnout for us. But we got to continue to build on campus as well as in the community to keep bringing more and more people out.
Well, and of course, the importance to me of Division 1A. You take Jacksonville. I know you're very familiar with Jacksonville. You're very familiar with Sanford. Some good 1AA programs. But by Troy being 1A, though, it's what everybody wants to be. And we were able. Jacksonville was our huge rivalry in Division 2, and a part. Well, I think they became Division 1AA later, but we have surpassed them by going Division 1A. Don't you agree?
We have it, and it took the foresight and vision of our leaders on campus to plan for that. You look back at the dream of moving forward into Division 1. It's paid great dividends for us.
You probably would not have been near as interested in this program if it wasn't in Division 1A in football. Isn't that right?
Certainly. Division 1 has a great status to it. It helps your university recruit other students to campus. As athletics, we're the front porch a lot of times for the university. It's a chance for us to bring people onto campus, to get them connected with Troy University and see what all we have available.
Another thing that a lot of our public uses is our track. We've just got a brand new track. A lot of people don't realize it. One of the best in the country.
Absolutely. It's a great brand new surface out there. Very, very needed for our students.
And I think they still allow the public to walk around it.
I believe you're right. It's a good facility for everybody to be able to utilize.
Safe and so forth. And, looking at our facilities right now as a mid-level Division 1A program, how do you think we stand?
We're one of the tops in the country there. And that's one of the things that initially drew me here at Troy was to see the level of the facilities, because it's not just football. It's softball, it's track and field, it's tennis. All the different facilities here allow our student athletes to compete. We have one of the nicest, bar none, golf facilities in the country.
No question.
So we've got the great tools in place.
And it's beautiful now. Isn't that drive beautiful?
Oh, absolutely. It allows us to succeed at levels that we might not have been able to be at previously. So we're very fortunate to have those facilities, such as Trojan Arena. It's one of the things we're excited about, having an event such as a Whiteout game this Saturday. Get a chance to fill that facility up, get it loud, and hopefully have some great photos.
And at the baseball field, you're just walking. You'll walk right down, and you've just filled up with hot dogs and meet the Trojans, and it's just going to be a wonderful day this weekend. And I'm as excited about it as I've been about anything lately. And again, we appreciate what y'all do, my friend.
I appreciate that.
Again, we just seem to get better and better and better. And hey, I'm humbled by it, that this is all in our hometown of Troy, Alabama. And all you folks from Andalusia to the Ozarks to the Eufaula, you're a part of this too. The Luvernes, all of you, we're all a part of being Trojan family, and what we call, what they call it now, Trojan.
With one Troy.
One Troy, exactly right. And of course, we get better and better and better, and this program's going to get more and more prolific. And I always said this when we went 1A and everything. Kids that are going to college are starting to see Troy as being bigger and better. The promotions and the so forth, and all the teams we're playing and all that has enhanced our program, that kids want to go to school here.
Certainly.
And the pageantry is as good as you're going to find anywhere.
Well, thank you. We try to make our games fun and exciting. We've added new promotions this year for football, for baseball, for basketball. At basketball, we have more and more opportunities for fans to win great prizes.
Yeah.
Like right now, we have a golf putt that's full length of the court. If you make that, you win round fare airfare from Montgomery Regional Airport. We also have some different shots available where you can win book scholarships for students.
Yeah.
We'll have other things for cash that people get a chance to win. We also have a around the world competition from Premier Dodge where if you hit all 5 3-pointers, you win $20,000 towards a brand new vehicle at Premier Dodge.
Oh, Jason is something, isn't he?
Right, absolutely.
Because, you know, they come from a huge car dealer family, doesn't he?
Well, he does, and they're helping us out for this weekend as well, too. So Premier Dodge is providing the 500 T-shirts for the student section for the Wild game. Troy Bank and Trust is presenting this game, and they're actually providing the rally towels for all the fans. So some great things we have with our local sponsors right here in Troy
no question.
that help with the surrounding area.
And Jason Gregory has just brought a great atmosphere as far as for local car dealership to help promote Troy athletics. You know, they are really doing a great job.
Certainly, and you know, we got another opportunity here to help showcase our local sponsors as well too. We're announcing it later today, but next Saturday, it's going to be Saturday, February 10th, we're going to have Trojan Mardi Gras. And what this will be is outside of Trojan Arena, prior to the basketball games against Little Rock, there'll be women's basketball at 2 o'clock, men's basketball at 4:15.
Because we got a big Mardi Gras ball down the road later on that night.
Right, and so what we're doing is, it won't be necessarily a Mardi Gras parade. We're not necessarily having that in front of Trojan Arena, but part of Mardi Gras is just having that party atmosphere. So we're going to have free food samples. We'll have king cake from Publix. We'll have gumbo from Mama Goldberg's. We have Conecuh sausage, free drinks. All this is taking place, as well as live music outside Trojan Arena. Again, that'll be next Saturday, February 10th, before we take on Little Rock. So
that is
more details
wonderful.
coming out here shortly about that.
Boy, I tell you, isn't that something? You guys are just, y'all hit the ground running and you're still running.
Well,
y'all do a great job.
It's a busy time for us right now with all the overlap.
It's great to be a Troy Trojan, isn't it?
It definitely is.
You know, we were talking about pageantry and the Sound of the South band, and you're going to have a bigger band this weekend. You know, of course, when you're at Southern, you know, they have a great band, the Dixie Darlings and all that. But you got to have all of that. You've got great pageantry. You've got a wonderful marching band that you can work with, and it all goes hand in hand, don't you think?
It certainly does. You know, the band does so much for our game day, from football to basketball. They are fantastic to work with. Always.
And our dancers, you know, Troy's building a tremendous dance program. Kids from all over the country, and they want to be seen too. So I would bring them into the fold too.
We're certainly doing that, trying to work to make sure we have more of them involved as well.
You know, I know in Alabama they really include them. You know, in their halftimes. You know, you go to an SEC. I used to go to the tournament every year, and you see the pageantry that is built around basketball. It can be as exciting as any sport when you get fans involved with the program.
Certainly, and the fan involvement is what we want and what we need here at Troy. We want to make sure we have the fans involved in the game day atmosphere to make it fun and exciting. You know, it's one thing back during football season, we rolled out a fun promotion called Karaoke with the Coaches, and it was a chance for us to get our coaches seen in a different light, and fans all enjoyed it. So more opportunities such as that where we can continue to make it fun, make it to where people want to come back and they're waiting for that next promotion to take place. That's what we want to be able to do for all of our games.
What is your feeling about our community? You know, I brag on it all the time and everything. You know, we got positives and of course we're going to have some negatives sometimes too. But what do you think about this little town? Certainly love Troy. Everybody is so kind and welcoming at all times. It has that feel where you enjoy getting a chance to, if you're going to lunch or dinner, or you're going to run into somebody that you know, and it's just a welcoming environment. Good place to eat lunch, isn't it? Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, another place that is open to the public, and of course they had the talk show there last night, is the Trojan Dining Facility. People don't realize it. That's one of the great breakfasts that out there. Have you ever tried their Belgian waffle? Have you ever eaten breakfast there? Waffle there man, you make your Belgian waffle, you know. But their breakfast, dinner, and lunch, and supper are really good, and you know, it is open to the public if people want to go by it there. It's a great facility for our students to take advantage of, but as well as, just as you're saying, the entire general public is welcome to as well too. We had
Trojan Talk for men's and women's basketball takes place there. And a great opportunity for our coaches to get in front of our students.
Yeah.
We actually had last night, Coach Rigby, Coach Cunningham had
Yeah.
some courtside tickets to pass out to some lucky
Oh,
students
great.
there as well too.
Do you have pretty good crowds for that?
We do, because the students are going there for dinner anyways.
Yeah.
It gives a chance to get in front of them, talk about basketball, get them excited for the upcoming games.
Exactly. Of course, also the food court at Troy has Steak and Shake now, and got a full-fledged Chick-fil-A. How many towns the size 20,000 population have 2 Chick-fil-A's?
Very true. Very true.
And then, of course, they've got the All-American Cookie. I was in Birmingham having dinner with my grandchildren not long ago, and we were at the Brookwood Mall, and we ate at one of the restaurants there, and then my daughter wanted to go get a cookie, or my granddaughter did, and it's the All-American Cookie. Are you familiar with that?
I am, yes.
That is a popular place in Birmingham. I know that, and a lot of people in Troy don't even know we have it.
It's been a new addition for us. You have the cookie place as well as Cold Stone Creameries
Yeah,
inside there
that's
as
right.
well
How
too.
good is that?
Very good. I try to stay away from that, so I'm not
I
getting
know,
too
but
much sweets
what
there
kind
on top.
of is it? Ice cream or
Ice
what
cream.
is it?
It's ice cream they have for. So it's a great addition for our student body to be able to have.
And what
both
did you
those
call it
items.
again?
Cold Stone Creamery.
Yeah, okay. And then the All-American Cookie. Plus, I mean, it's not only great, but you can order them and come pick them up and have them for your party and whatever, you know. And then, of course, their Chinese food is wonderful.
It is.
Have you had their Chinese food?
I've had that, and you also have Einstein's Bagels right there
Yeah,
as well
that's
too.
right.
So plenty of great options for
Yeah.
all of our students and
that-
fans to take advantage of.
and because of the parking, you're going to be able to utilize that food court. I mean, it's open to the public,
It is, yes.
and the food's readable and good.
It is.
So,
It's
but
been a good
again,
addition.
that new 550 capacity parking lot is going to be great for parking for baseball and football. It's not very far away, and of course, if you want to walk the track, you'll have plenty of room for that.
Absolutely.
And so of course, now I'm waiting. We just will go ahead and end it. We're going to end it in a minute, 3 or 4 minutes. But about the Wellness Center, what do you know about the Wellness Center?
I haven't been involved in that too much myself, outside of just what I've seen being production-wise going on for us right now with the parking lot. But it seems to be a great new addition for us. I know it'll be a little bit of time until it's all finished up. It'll be a great
I know
addition.
there'll be a lot of basketball facilities. I know
will.
there'll be indoor, outdoor swimming facility. I know that. And then, of course, there'll be weight rooms and wellness type facilities. And
Right.
it's going to cover that whole big area there. Now, is that going to hurt our parking for future games and so
It
forth?
won't hurt it, but it'll change it slightly. We'll have to make a few changes when it comes to the upcoming football season. We've been working on those details currently. And as you mentioned, the
Yeah.
new parking lot over there by the track and field complex is a great addition for us.
Sure.
We actually went up. We lose a parking by Sartain, but you add in the other parking
Exactly.
lots. So you have a net gain of 300 additional parking spots
good,
on campus. So it's been very helpful to have
Sure.
more spaces available. It just changes a little bit in terms of what people are used to seeing.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, you know, these are just more and more things that make things more convenient. You know, to be able to park and be able to walk to those facilities and you know, and enjoy a great afternoon of athletics, whether it's baseball, football, or basketball. Quickly, one other thing that I was going to ask you about was well, it was on the tip of my tongue that I was concerned about, but that'd be something maybe we can hit on another day.
Sure.
But again, we appreciate you coming, being on our show. And
Thank you, Mike.
We're going to show this to different at different intervals throughout the year, up until we get ready for football. But some dates to remember. This weekend, of course, we got basketball.
Right.
And then also men and women starting at 2 o'clock on Saturday against our rival, South Alabama. And then, of course, baseball, Meet the Trojans, starts at what time?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. And, of course, you meet the Trojans eat free hot dogs.
Free hot dogs
and,
for it.
and really a lot of fun. Watch baseball practice and watch them hit those home runs and so forth. And then, as I mentioned, you can leave from there and go on down to the basketball arena and watch 2 good basketball games. And again, another big game coming up on Thursday. Now the recruiting day is going to be what day?
So next Wednesday, that'll be Wednesday, February 7th. That'll
Yeah.
be National Signing Day.
And the public's invited.
Yes,
is
sir.
that
We'll have the
right?
public invited 5:30 to 7 o'clock in the 4th floor of the
And
Stadium
it is
Tower.
wonderful, wonderful.
Absolutely. It'll be a great
Yeah.
turnout there for us. And then the very next day, we'll have a big basketball game on Thursday, February 8th. That'll be against Arkansas State. So it'll be
Exactly.
5 o'clock for women, 7:15
Yeah.
for men. It'll be Youth Basketball League night, so $5 tickets
Great.
for any youth basketball players and their family members to come out to the game.
That'd be great, no question about it. Want to mention real quick, indoor facility. What's the talk about it?
You know,
An
it's
indoor practice facility.
potentially in the future. We don't have anything necessarily set
Yeah.
in stone currently. There's some opportunities potentially once we finish the North End Zone
Yeah, I
project,
understand.
start looking towards some other
Yeah.
options to add on there. We've got some spaces available to utilize for that. It's just seeing where that ends up on the timetable and
Exactly.
and fundraising for that as well too.
Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Kyle George, your title is
Associate AD for Marketing and Sales.
and that they do a super job at Troy University, and of course your door is open, and your telephone number.
My phone number is 670-5650, or you can give us a call at the ticket office. Make sure you buy your tickets at 877.
I'm gonna give you the opportunity to go eat breakfast today. We're going to Birds. I'm going to Birds for breakfast. You're welcome to go with me.
Thank you very much.
And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this show. And again, we're going to mark this show down, and watch it at numerous occasions, because we found out a lot that's going on, and it's been very informative. And we again appreciate you coming.
Well, thank you very much.
Hope you've enjoyed our show. We come on again today at 1:30. Watch it and tell your friends about it. Big weekend going on at Troy University, and we're excited. Good luck.